So I've got a question here, and the question is asking, how do we deal with our friends and family when we are awakening? Well, as we're awakening, what's happening is we're letting go of our conditioning, that we're breaking free from the limitations that once bound us. And your friends and family are still going to be conditioned. They're still going to be bound by these limitations. As you're uninstalling these beliefs, these programs, there's this feeling that your friends and family are very much programmed. They're very much conditioned. That everything that the mind knows is a conditioning. The mind is conditioned. The mind has been programmed. Did you program your mind? No. The mind has been programmed, conditioned by your parents' parents, their parents' parents, society, culture, schooling, government, religion. So you could see that all of these influences have influenced the mind in a way that has shaped it, formed it. So as you're becoming more and more unconditional, you're removing those conditioned patterns. You're uninstalling those programs. You're breaking free from those limitations. And to your close friends and family, this can be experienced in a number of ways. Typically, it's experienced as fearful to your friends and family, threatening to your friends and family, weird, crazy, different, like you're going nuts. There's a lot of judgment. But this is all part of their conditioning, that the mind is conditioned to be fearful. So they're just running their own conditioning patterns. They're just running true to their programs. And because you're becoming less fearful, more free, more loving, less judgmental, well then you're able to respond instead of react to their reactions. That their reactions are coming from their conditionings. And because you're breaking free from those conditions, you're now able to respond instead of react. When you find that you're just simply reacting to their reactions, then that requires more and more awareness to then see what is within you that's reacting. What is within you that's still conditioned? What is within you that's still binding you? That's still enslaving you to an external source, to something that's in your environment. And really, unless your family, your friends have disowned you or exiled you or sent you away, which is very possible. I'm not saying that that's not a possibility. It's very possible. This relationship with your family and your friends is actually your spiritual path. It's your practice ground. It's your training ground. It offers a huge catalyst for your spiritual development, your spiritual evolution. It gives you the friction that's needed to really start that fire within you. It gives you a mirror to really see yourself. It's like it gives you a sparring partner to practice with, to really see that reactivity of the conditioned mind. They might be judgmental, and then you get offended. But what in you is actually getting offended? What in you is holding some sort of position or view that you might be arguing about? What in you is getting jealous? What in you is feeling hurt? What in you wants to prove that you know more than someone else? These type of things start arising. And you could say without that interaction, it's much harder to see it. That irritation, that agitation that comes from being around your family and friends at this time as you start awakening. It's like it's agitating the water, and a bunch of stuff starts surfacing. Oh, okay. I see that now. See, it's kind of needed. So like I said, it's not something that you want to be running from. It will make you feel comfortable at the time to say, oh, I just got to get away from these people. And you're talking like that about your family or your friends. But like I said, is anytime that you're trying to escape what is essentially a form of suffering. The conditioned mind is conditioned to resist what is and trying to escape what is. And as you're breaking free from this conditioning, you'll start noticing that you're more accepting, that you can simply accept what is. So you'll learn how to be around and still interact and play with people who seem relatively to not be on your same level. You'll see when they kind of pull you into the drama of their life. When they pull you into the negativity. When they pull you into their problems. And that's what I said. It's like a little training ground. Because how are you getting pulled in so easily? How is it that you're seemingly going unconscious in those times and back to your old conditioned patterns? How are you going to get good at not being so easily pulled in if you just run off away from your family? It feels like that idea comes to mind. It'd just be a lot easier if I didn't live here anymore. I can't stand these people. They're driving me nuts. It feels like that, but what is that really? Isn't that trying to escape? What is? It is, isn't it? Doesn't that feel like judgment? Doesn't it feel like you're creating this separation? It's so tricky with this stuff. The mind is tricky. But if you could say change your attitude about it and see as it's just practice for your spiritual evolution, your spiritual growth, it allows you to get a reflection. It allows you to see more and more of your own conditionings. Because those conditionings are there within you, but you can't see them. And it's kind of like they're pointing at it. See your family and friends as like a teacher that are simply going like this, pointing. Did you know this? Can you see that? What about this? Look, that's not gone. It's still there. That's simply what they're doing. They're just pointing to things that are still within you. And until you see it, it's impossible to transcend. You have to see it first. Because you don't realize what is actually making you feel like you're in bondage, like you're restricted, like you're not free. You have to really be able to witness the activity of the mind, see what it's up to, see these patterns, see how these patterns interplay. So if you can change your attitude about it and see that it's basically just more exposure for you to simply be aware of the activity of the mind, it's like it gives it more activity in different circumstances. And you'll find that different people bring out different conditioning patterns. Different people make you feel more sticky, more dense, more heavy, more irritated, more frustrated, more angry, more guilty, more shameful, more pride, more arrogant. These sort of things start kind of popping up more and more. So I wouldn't run from it. Because I know that's the first kind of thought. I can't stand these people anymore. I'm on another level. I'm so much better than them. I can't hang out with them anymore. I gotta leave. I can't take my mom and dad anymore. I can't take my brother and sister anymore. These type of thoughts come in. But really, these are just judgments, more separation. So it's about really accepting these differences. That yes, superficially, there's these differences, but essentially, we are one. So there's this play. There's this play of these energies. And I'm not saying that it's fun at all times. I'm not saying that it's fun at all times. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. But it's more difficult if you have this type of attitude where you feel like you're always resisting them and trying to avoid them. Because what are you really trying to resist? What are you really trying to avoid? You're trying to resist and avoid what is. It just gives you more practice for unconditional acceptance, for surrendering to this present moment, letting go of more of the conditioned patterns that you may not be aware of, allow you to see and transcend old programs. So, yeah, how do you deal with them? Well, by not resisting and not avoiding. The dealing with them is really about acceptance. How can you not accept them? Why are you rejecting them? Just because you have changed and they haven't. How come you can't accept that? Why are you rejecting that? What if you just treat it as everyone will have their time to go through this natural process and you're simply going through it before them? What if you viewed it like everyone's in elementary school and you're just simply learning a little faster? What are you going to do? Not accept the grade 3s? You're going to reject the grade 3s because you got to grade 6? No. Can't we all just get along in the playground? Can't you just simply be a good role model? Can you just be a mature kid in the playground? Or are you going to be that kid that's in grade 6 that goes and picks fights with the grade 3s, bullies the grade 3s? It's your choice. But you'll find that as you're seeing more and more of these conditioning patterns, they're let go of, and you're essentially freeing yourself from that old conditioning and old programs, and you're becoming more unconditioned. You're experiencing more and more of your unconditional self. And your unconditional self is in total acceptance of everything. It completely allows everything to be as it is. It is love. It is freedom. So it allows people to be as they are, that you're accepting. Be as they are. That you're open to everyone simply being at different levels. That you're giving the freedom to others to simply express how they are. And you're free to be as you are. So you'll see that these kind of this guidance just starts coming from within. But a big trap is really avoiding this catalyst for more spiritual growth. It's very easy to, again, run away from it. But if you just become aware that you're running away from a so-called problem, it's like you're really running away from the best practice here for you. You're running away from the present moment. It's like you're trying to escape reality. And spiritual awakening is all about realizing the one reality that you are.